Solomonic Pentacles, Wisdom and Magic for the Modern Age is a new paperback, large format book by Emrys Abner. It's quite a hefty volume, as you can see. It's just been published by Llewellyn Books, and I'm impressed with what I've seen. Let me give you a little tour of this fresh take on Solomonic Pentacles. So Emrys Abner actually starts off the book by saying, hey, really, do we need another book on Solomonic Pentacles? And, acknowledges that there are plenty out there. But he does also point out that many of the books that exist are really either academic in nature or alternatively just incomplete. And I did appreciate the fact that he references Sarah Mastros's recent work, The Magic of Solomon, I think it's called. I'm sorry, Sarah, if I've butchered that, but yes, essentially this does provide an interesting take on the Solomonic Pentacles. Right, let's start off with the basics. I'll give you a quick look at the contents page. And what I love about this is that the contents page comes in various formats. So you'll be able to see that you get a section on the background explaining the history of Solomonic magic in general, explaining Solomonic concepts, the magic process of intention, which is a chapter written by a guest author. The magical process of intention, so crafting pentacles and working with the pentacles. Then you get a description of the rituals involved in consecrating the pentacles, creating and then consecrating, of course. And then the pentacles themselves explained. Now, you'll notice over here that there is a chapter 10, the Trans-Saturnian pentacles, basically the pentacles of the planets that are beyond Saturn. So the author has gone into quite a lot of detail explaining for each of the pentacles how the pentacle has been built, how it's been created, what each part of it means, and why it's been designed the way it has, and then has applied those principles to Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune. So yeah, very, very cool stuff. And let me give you a little sneak peek of some of those Trans-Saturnian pentacles, and you'll see that they make sense. They make sense in the context of the pentacles of the classical planets. Okay. The biggest, there are two things two additional things beyond the things that I've talked about. Three additional things that I love about this book. First of all, I was telling you about a contents page. It's basically an index, really, at the beginning of the book that gives you the pentacles in order of appearance and their page. Yeah. Then you also have the pentacles by need. So if you need to attack someone, or if you need to create discord or chaos, or if you need to clear, a road opener for your life, communicate with the dead, for example, influence, love, protection, defense, power, whatever it is that you might need, you'll have a header and the pentacles that can help with that, as well as the page on which you'll be able to find it, which I thought was really thoughtful and helpful in a book such as this one. And then over here, there is a list of rituals. And so you'll already be able to see some of the rituals that are discussed in this book, right? So all of these rituals are rituals that are taken from primary sources, from the Clavicula Solomonis, from the Greater Key of Solomon, right? The GKS, I guess. And the author also gives his take on how necessary some of these steps are, and yeah, so it's not just it's competent, right? The author knows what he's talking about. The author knows about the original traditional way of doing this stuff, and this is an analysis of that original material, and also offering you some alternatives, some additional ways, some insight into how necessary all of those steps may or may not be, and giving you some alternatives when and where it makes sense. Look how beautiful, this is the second thing that I like, look how beautiful these pentacles are. Look how large they are, no little tiny copies, that you have to peer at through a magnifying glass. No, these are really nice, big versions of these well-known Solomonic Pentacles from the Greater Key of Solomon. And they are beautifully presented. And look at that. You get an analysis for every single one of these pentacles. And it's a surprisingly in-depth analysis. And it's I have learned so much by reading these analyses. I would suggest that anyone who is interested in Solomonic magic at all is going to pick up some stuff here. There's no doubt. It doesn't matter if you've been studying this stuff for 5 years or 40 years, you will pick up some stuff. And this is another thing. So each of these planets starts with an initial first pentacle. And with that initial first pentacle, let me see, where are we up to here? The fifth pentacle of Jupiter. So let's look for the first pentacle of Jupiter, maybe on the third. So the first pentacle of any given planet, yes, comes with, I hope I'm not telling a lie here. Comes with a path working. Okay, so you get to visualize this guided visualization, right? I'm not a fan of calling these path workings, but it's the terminology that has been adopted widely now in the occult community. So sure, path workings, why not? This visualization that allows you to get the influence of the spirits required to charge this first pentacle, and then once that's done, this first pentacle gives its power to the subsequent pentacles from that planet, and that's very cool. I like that idea. I really do. The description of each pentacle is accurate and traditional. I like it. And then these later Trans-Saturnian pentacles, in my opinion, are worth the entry price alone. They are very, very useful and absolutely in the tradition of the earlier pentacles in the book. Very much based on the same principles, based on the same ideas and energies and magic, right? As the author points out, just because it's not old doesn't mean it's not valuable and doesn't work. So this is very, very cool indeed. There we go, folks. That's a little appendix at the back with the Psalms in the New International Version, which happens to be my favorite version. But of course, the author does say you can substitute with a King James Version if you like. But yes, the King James Version is easy to find online. But having the Psalms in the back of the book to go with the rituals that are defined and described in the earlier books, very helpful, very useful, and nice to have on hand, right? So there we go, folks. That's my little overview of the Solomonic Pentacles, Wisdom and Magic for the Modern Age by Emrys Abner. I hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps these videos to reach a wider audience. Do take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you soon with another one. Bye-bye.